For quite a while now, I have been going in-depth on Universal Orlando's third theme park, Epic Universe. We've already talked about the future of Epic Universe, and then we dove into what was really going to happen with Epic Universe. And recently, Universal has finally resumed construction of their third theme park. And after years of just looking at a giant dirt plot, we are now seeing construction work taking place. Now, even though construction is well underway, we still have to wait a couple of years to see this place open, let alone for construction to start going vertical. As of now, this video is currently being made and released in February of 2022. Universal recently announced that Epic Universe will open in 2025, receiving a 2-year delay from the original 2023 opening year. Now, 2025 may seem like forever, but when it comes to this magnitude of a theme park, 2025 is honestly quite shocking to see. So today we're going to see if Epic Universe will really open in 2025. So to quickly sum up to those who have no idea what Epic Universe is, this will be Universal Orlando's third true theme park and fourth park in the entire resort. However, instead of being connected to Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and Volcano Bay, Epic Universe is 4 miles south of Universal. This park is already confirmed to have Super Nintendo World and is rumored to have a Universal Monsters themed land, a Harry Potter Wizarding World themed land, a How to Train Your Dragon themed land, a giant hotel, and many other attractions around the park like a carousel themed to constellations and a multi-launched dueling roller coaster. This will be the biggest park Universal has ever built, and it is set to open in 2025. So there's a brief summary. If you want to know more, again, check out my other 2 videos before you get any farther into this one. Now, Epic Universe is an ambitious project, especially right after the COVID-19 pandemic. And Universal has been killing it with some of their latest additions to not only Universal Orlando, but their parks worldwide, with attractions like Hagrid's, Secret Life of Pets, Super Nintendo World, Velocicoaster, Universal Beijing as a whole, and now they're working on a Shrek 4D replacement and a Super Nintendo World at Universal Hollywood, all along with Epic Universe. This company is absolutely thriving. The fact that they're even allowing a third theme park to get built after all of these additions is just astonishing. If only another multi-billion-dollar corporation could do the same. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Anyways, Universal has been thriving, and they're even calling Epic Universe the most immersive and innovative park we've ever created. Now, let's get back to whether or not this park will open in 2025. The first thing we have to ask is the park finished? And I'm not talking about construction, I'm talking about planning. Are all the lands done? Did anything get cut? That sort of thing. Epic Universe was announced in August of 2019. This was almost a full year before the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, we have seen no new concept art for Epic Universe besides the one that was released in 2019. Personally, I just don't think Universal is going to build all of this, especially at one time. The park has done so much throughout the pandemic that I just find it hard to see all of these additions take shape directly after. Unless Universal somehow paid for everything in full before 2020, which is extremely unlikely. I don't think we are going to see all of what is in this concept art. I do believe some things are either being reimagined or cut completely. Super Nintendo World is the only land that will get built with its original design, since 2 other Universal parks will also have Super Nintendo Worlds by the time this one opens. So when it comes to lands that were completely cut, I would shift my focus to the rumored How to Train Your Dragon land, and here's why. Out of all of the intellectual properties Universal is using within this park, this was one that is easily the least well known and least popular, and is probably the hardest to use. Since Universal has already built many Harry Potter and Nintendo lands, and they own the Monsters franchise, so they don't need permission to use that at all. How to Train Your Dragon, on the other hand, is owned by DreamWorks. Now, this land was going to be one of the bigger lands, so it would be sad if it did get cut, but at the end of the day, it makes the most amount of sense. Now, let's look at the Universal Monsters and the Wizarding World. We know that the Wizarding World edition originally planned for Epic Universe is probably not going to happen, since the VR broom riding experience is now rumored to be the replacement for Fear Factor Live at Universal Studios. Now, I do believe that this land will still be the rumored Ministry of Magic, but I think it'll be a bit smaller than what was originally planned. Whereas instead of being like a Hogsmeade with 2 major attractions and some small shops and shows, it'll be more like a Diagon Alley with 1 major attraction and some small shops and shows. I still believe that the main attraction will be Universal's first trackless dark ride, but you can check out my last video on Epic Universe to learn more about that. Finally, we have the Universal Monsters Land. Now, similar to the Wizarding World, I do believe this land won't have everything that was originally planned for it, but I do believe there will still at least be 1 major attraction with some mini attractions and shops and shows, instead of this giant land that we saw in this concept art. Obviously, the main rumor for this land is some kind of roller coaster to be the headline attraction, and I'm still sticking with that. I feel like Epic Universe, honestly, is going to be split into 2 separate editions. Epic Universe is going to open, but a lot of things that were cut or some things that are being planned, as of now, won't be open by opening day. Instead, they will act as a Phase 2 addition to the park. And this leads to the next question. Can Universal really build this entire park in 3 years? At first, my immediate answer would be no, as that seems nearly impossible to get all of this built up in only 3 years. But you also have to remember, it's Universal. They tore down Dueling Dragons and built Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure in 1 year and 9.5 months. That's right, they built one of the biggest roller coasters in the entire world in less than 2 years. They also built Velocicoaster in 2 years, but this was during a pandemic, which means if COVID never happened, they could have gotten this ride done in a little more than a year. The people they hire for construction get the job done, and they get it done fast. Now, I feel like the best comparison construction-wise to look at is Disney's Animal Kingdom, as that was one of the more recent major parks to open here in Florida. Animal Kingdom was announced and they started construction back in 1995, and the park opened in 1998, so it only took them 3 years to complete. However, at this time, they did not have Expedition Everest or Pandora: The World of Avatar. Epic Universe will open with much more rides than Animal Kingdom. So I do believe that Epic Universe's construction will take longer to complete than Animal Kingdom for this reason. So now let's answer our original question. Will Epic Universe open in 2025? For me, I know I may have been doubting it, but I would say yes, and here's why. Parts of this concept art will probably not happen. Universal gets their construction done fast, and don't forget, they could technically open this on December 30th, 2025. Sure, that's unlikely, but that means it would still open in the year 2025. Now, personally, I would expect a fall 2025 opening, rather than your average spring or summer. But at the end of the day, yes, Epic Universe will most likely open in the year 2025. So there we have it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then make sure you subscribe, as I will continue covering Epic Universe every time something big is announced. If you enjoyed this and want to hear more, then check out my podcast On The Hunt. And finally, if you need non-copyrighted footage or POVs, check out my second channel, TPH Productions, in the description down below. As always, this is Hunter from Theme Park Hunting. I'll see you guys later, and follow the thrill.